This is Jason here in Las Vegas, Nevada on December 13th, 2009 with my 9,000 gallon above ground pool. It's 20-foot round. It's currently about 9:30 at night. It's about 45 degrees outside. We have about 50% humidity. It rained just a day ago, so it's actually kind of wet and moist here in Las Vegas. This is my Rheem 115,000 BTU heat and cool heat pump with power defrost. And you can see here the unit actually just turned off because it had just frozen up with ice on it. You can kind of see it here with the flashlight. The whole unit had pretty much frozen up with ice. It just shut off, and right now the compressor is pumping the Freon. I don't know if you can see this, but down in here the copper tubing, which is all completely frozen with ice, you can kind of tell is starting to thaw really quickly as it's reversing the flow, and now warm Freon is flowing through what was cold Freon in these copper tubing pipes, and it's melting everything off. And the outside of the heater is actually starting to melt too, slowly. But you can see water starting to drip off of my heater and run down onto the ground here. I can hear this thing thawing out and dripping. You can see the ice in here. Oops. There, it just kicked back on. Let's go down here and see what the temperatures look like. This is my thermometer set up externally. So what we've got now is we had 74.8 water going in, 72.9 coming out, so it was actually cooling the pool for a moment while it was in defrost. And now that temperature just updated again with the warm water coming back out of it as it turned back on. The air going in at 42 and coming out at 43. That hasn't adjusted yet fully, because obviously when you're running a heater, the air comes out of the top colder as you're removing the heat from the air, which it will adjust here shortly, and you can already see it's come down a little bit. There, 41.9. I currently have the heater set for about 85 degrees. It's been running all day. The pool was in the low 60s this morning, and it's been heating it up pretty well all day long. We were up to about 60 degrees today, and it worked fantastic, and then started building up ice on it around 7 or 8 o'clock tonight as it started getting colder outside with higher humidity. We only had humidity in the 20s today, and now we've got it up around 50, 55 out here. There you can still see there's still ice built up on the top of the heater. Temperatures are starting to stabilize a little bit now. Yeah, it's 74.8 water going in, 78.1 coming out. That's a difference of 3.3 degrees. Before this went into defrost, I was only getting 2.4 degree difference in water temperature. So it is functioning much better right now, much more efficiently than it was 5 minutes ago before it went into defrost, and where the unit was mostly all frozen up with ice. The air temperature now is showing to stabilize closer to around a 7 degree difference, which is about normal for these weather conditions. Right before it went into defrost, the temperature going in and the temperature coming out was basically identical. And that's when I knew this was going to kick into defrost for a moment. And it did, and then it was off for maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Started to melt the ice, and then kicked right back on. Let's go see if we can look down in here and see those pipes that were frozen. Yeah, you can kind of see them. They still have a little bit of ice left on them down there, but they were completely solid frozen ice. You couldn't even see the copper color or anything. Totally frozen up. Now it's all thawed out now that the defrost. We still have the whole top of the heater here, as you can see, is still ice. Until we get down to a little more than halfway down, and then the ice line starts. And then this part of the evaporator coil is thawed. And it seems to run like that most of the time. Might be able to see it better if I stand back. Probably not in the dark. But you can see it's thawed down here, and then the frozen line starts right there. So it went into defrost, but this whole upper portion never thawed the evaporator coil. Only the bottom portion did, and water ran out. Quite a bit of water ran out. Got the ground all soaked around the stove, or around the heater when it happened. Let's go look at the temperatures one more time. We've got a difference in water temperature of 3.1 and a difference in air temperature, still right about 7.5 degrees difference. And now it's back in heating mode. It'll do this for a while, and then eventually it'll start to freeze up with some more ice on it, and then it'll go back into defrost mode. Thank you for watching our videos. If you have any questions, please contact us at poolheatpumps.com.